morning everyone, my name is Tâm. Today I and my team very happy to be here to show you our presentation project. And there are 5 members in my team including me, Bảo Lộc, Thúy and Phương. Firstly, let me give you the outline of our presentation for you to easy to follow what we are doing. And our presentation was divided into 3 sessions. The first one is the history shape of Vietnam, and then the case description, and the last my team match will give you the recommendation for the issues. Okay, now I will present the trade history of Vietnam. So, in the past, agriculture is one of the most important sectors in Vietnam industry. The country has certain comparative in agriculture such as tropical climate, the abundance of cultivation land, forest and labor. And after the Vietnam War in 1975, its peacetime economy faced enormous struggle in production goods and distribution. So also inequality in supply and demand, and an increase in inflation rate, economic isolation, and high dependency on financial aid. Vietnam was then one of the poorest countries in the world, and in need of economy and political change to terminate this miserable situation. So since revolution of economy reform in 1986, which was expected to increase economic liberalization as well as to amend the economic structure to produce more competitive. After the economy integration, Vietnam increased its ability to produce goods and productivity of the workforce. So according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Vietnam also joined several international organizations and free trade agreements such as ASEAN, AFTA, WTO, CPTPP, and EVFTA. So from this remarkable event, Vietnam has obtained global recognition for its development, and the reduction of poverty and transformed to be one of the fastest economic development to obtain low middle income started in 2010. And this helped Vietnamese have higher standard of living, the rise of income per capita. Next, Vietnam exportation has increased rapidly after the integration, and the economy has developed faster than ever. According to the World Bank data, top 10 export Vietnam in 2018, electrical machinery equipment accountable for 39% of total export, and the footwear is about 7.9%, clothing and accessory is accountable for 5.7% of exportation. And next, Bảo will continue our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone, my name is Bảo and I'm going to talk about the case description of DHL logistic company from the interview. There are 3 main sectors that including sea, air, and road transportation. Not only Vietnam but also DHL logistic company is facing obstacles when operating their business here in Vietnam. As you can look at the figure 1 right over here, you can see that Vietnam is now having a very long coastline along Biển Đông of over 3,000 kilometers. Therefore, not only Vietnam but also the other logistic companies from local and the foreign had invested in Vietnam and trying to fully exploit the advantages that this sea route provide to the nation. So DHL is not an exception, as they had considered whether to choose sea transportation because of its low cost. In addition, the transportation mode within Vietnam is still very poor, and there's not many options for the shipments, which include the break bulk, liquid bulk, dry bulk, or in container on ships. So consequently, even though transporting via sea route is the best option, but it somehow still creates barriers onto Vietnam and other logistic companies. And secondly, air freight transportation in Vietnam is not that popular compared to other developed countries due to the high cost, the CO2 emission that has been produced into the environment, or because of heavy shipments. There were not many flights or enough qualified aircraft to do the work frequently in Vietnam as well. So according to the second figure, as you can see right over here, there's only 12 aircraft models that we are currently being used in Vietnam, and all of these under the average of aircraft here under 10 years, and they're mostly for passengers domestic transportation within Vietnam. So as a result, the air flight shipment may cost the country some more budget to upgrade the infrastructure of facilities and aircraft to meet the demands from other firms or other countries. So next part, Lộc will present about the road transportation in Vietnam.
Hi everyone, so today I'm gonna talk about the road infrastructure in Vietnam. There are two main key for this statement. The first one is about the poor infrastructure. As you can see on the image, the road statement in Vietnam are considered as low quality and also narrow. And as an example, that the road heading to Cali Port is only have 2 lanes, and the container drivers say that it's really hard for them to go fast for these 2 lanes. However, the government also have a plan to widen this street. But recently they announced that this project needs to be delayed because it will cost more 1 trillion, and this also is just a case among many cases that the roads, the building have to be delayed because of the government budget. The next one about the high cost, because the ports are places in residential areas. It means that the vehicle have to go with all the cars and also bike of the residents. Because of that, it's really a really busy traffic. We slow down the time that the shipping time. The journal say that because of this problem, the shipping cost in Vietnam will cost more 20% when considering with other neighboring ports. So the next slide is about the road transportations, how they affect the country economies. The first one is about the comparative advantage. Obviously, high cost and less efficiency is a big problem if Vietnam wants to be the most famous, the more international hubs. The next one is about the FDI. Will the foreign investor trust the government where there are so many delayed projects about the road infrastructure? The lastly is about the safetyness of the citizen when they have to go in a safety street. So that's all my presentation. So next one about the recommendation.
Hello, my name is Thuy. Now I will recommendation for the government of Vietnam to improve the transportation infrastructure system in Vietnam. We can see that the transportation infrastructure in Vietnam still reveal many weaknesses and failing to meet the development requirements. So the government Vietnam need to find effective solutions to solve and reduce the challenge of the national transport infrastructure, as well as to expand the logistics industry. So in this case, the government should invest in upgrading and building infrastructures, which include the expansion in the capacity of existing airports or seaports. So the development of port system, especially container ports, which is seen as an integral tool for the global economy. Therefore, the government needs to build a direct or coordinated relationship between the volume of foreign trade and the container ports. So it's a tool to grab the opportunity brought by globalization. However, at the moment, the number of capital investment in infrastructure exceeds the budget of the government. Hence, the government should issue and apply referential policies to adjust investment, such as reducing tax burden and diversifying incentive, which create a favorable investment environment as well to adjust FDI. Furthermore, the contribution from public-private partnership (PPS), especially the private sector, is an important part to contribute to the financial resources. So the government needs to discover the appropriate PPS model because it's the effective solution to attract financial resources from society as well as foreign and domestic private investment. So this is the end of my presentation. Now Phương will continue with the next part.
And now I'm going to suggest some recommendations for DHL company. Firstly, DHL should cooperate with domestic and international airports and marine ports to improve the cargo capacity as well as the quality of services in Vietnam and other countries. Secondly, the company ought to broaden its networks with suppliers and vendors, as it is unwise to depend on only one supplier. In addition, having a good relationship with partners can help the company to use backup plans in order to solve unexpected eventually. Thirdly, DHL employee must be provided ethical training and specialized training 2 to 3 times per year. The quality of each individual is a key factor in contributing in the firm's success, whether it is the delivery man or the warehouse manager. Investing in training its staff can enhance the profession and efficiency of the business. Fourthly, the company should spend more money on the advanced technology to have the most effective transportation management system so it can save more money and time as the optimal routes are chosen. The fifth recommendation is recording the feedback from the staff and the clients periodically to detect the faults as well as the to gather the pools of ideas to improve its services. Last but not least, this company should implement eco-friendly solutions such as using biofuels and setting up a green warehouse which have equipment that can deal with the exhaust fume to reduce the pollution. By these tactics, DHL can gain clients' favor as people tend to care more about the environment. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We are Team Lucky. Thank you.